Guys, look at this baby kakapo. Look how small and fuzzy it is. Welcome back everyone, of course, to Sparrow Forest Zoo. It is always lovely to drop by here. As you can see, our baby kakapo eggs have all hatched up. We have 2 baby kakapos. I do not know where the other one is. I'm getting a bit of lag now. There's some kiwis. And I'm looking for you, little kiwi. And I think, oh, there it is. There's the other kakapo, and there's mama, and there's papa. They're the parents. Oh, so we can pop out into our I still need to finish off this staff area. Let's see. Are you okay, ma'am? What are you doing over here? I think you need to come back into the zoo. There we go. Okay, so we do need to finish up that staff area. We need to do like a bit of a back area to it, but I think that's something that will naturally come along as we build up the areas around it, because obviously the intention of the staff area is that it kind of leads to the other areas. So I'm gonna do a little like a pathway coming out that way so people can nip in from the deer enclosure. So basically all of the zookeepers can come back here as like a central hub, I suppose. So I am gonna need to put down these pathways as well so that, you know, our zookeepers can come in. Here we go. That should do it. Just to stop guests from wandering in there. The reason I don't want guests wandering in there is because I want to put down benches. And I want the zookeepers to sit on those benches, not anyone else. And I also want to kind of pay that out so it's like an enclosure, so it's like a completely enclosed space. The reason being is that I can assign all of the zookeepers to it, and hopefully we can only hope that that would make them kind of restrict themselves, I suppose, kind of keep themselves to this area. So what I need to do today is I need to go ahead and I need to make this area up into this area. When I say this area, I mean the deer enclosure. I need to make the deer enclosure have a bit more pieces to it, I suppose. I need it to have a few more bit of like zookeeper equipment, make it a bit more into a zookeeper area, I suppose. So let's see, we got those. I want to get the bucket, just an empty bucket. So the zookeepers will need those to fill up with food whenever they're doing a bit of a refill on the deer's food. So I'm going to put those kind of scattered around near where the food is, like that. And then we're going to need... that's water buckets. There should be, there we go. Broom and bucket that we can put next to the other maintenance equipment. Here we are. Lean those up against the wall. Okay. Getting a bit of a lag there, but it's okay. Obviously, as we build up the zoo, we're gonna have to deal with that problem. We're gonna have to deal with that problem as it comes. So I don't know what else I could put in there. I'm sure there are other things that I could go ahead and put in. Maybe I could fence this off, and I don't know, have something else here. I don't know what I'd put here though. But I think there are a few other signs and things that I can use to decorate up the visitor area, and I want to put some benches in as well, so that people can sit down in that area if they want to. So I'm going to do that quick. There we go. So we can get up our bench. And just put a couple of little benches in, so if people do want to sit down while they're stopping in this area, they can do. There we go. I also do want to put in a what did you call a donation box? There we go, a donation box, because we only seem to have the one. I seem to have forgotten to put in a lot more donation boxes than that. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually put that kind of... I kind of don't want to have them like in the enclosures. Isn't there like a Japanese themed one I can use? Because that would be nice in a Seeker deer enclosure. I'm pretty sure there is. Oh, there's a Chinese one, but not a Japanese one. Oh. I think that still would look really nice, though. Like, if I can... It's annoying me how I have to put it on the grid. Or maybe I'll just put them outside the viewing areas instead. So, like, float them kind of here. And that works well because that also links up quite nicely to our European duck enclosure. So if people wanted to come from there and donate here... Let's have a look. I feel like I had more donation boxes than this. No, I do have more wooden donation boxes. They just don't seem to have a lot of people come to them. One of our donation boxes just has so much money coming to it. We are in the negative for actual money. That's why we're playing on freeform. I just wanted a nice chance to, you know, just build a zoo. Just build a zoo without the constraints, I guess, of challenge mode. So we did do the original Sparrow Forest Zoo in challenge mode, but I think this works a bit nicer for what we're doing here. I want to use these aviaries, like these roofed ones, and the stone ones. I don't know what for. Probably for... I'm thinking like a small primate actually for these. We'll have to think about it. I'm not sold on it yet. I don't have any set ideas. Like I said last time, if you guys have any kind of ideas, for enclosures or anything, do let me know. I want to see how that looks. There we go. So now we can actually see in here. Though I'm not sure about how it looks. Now I don't know if I can delete them. Not sure how easily I can. I might just have to live with it. Because I don't think I can even go in to delete them. Oh, hold on. Hold on just a minute. I could just about... Oof. I think that's a bit much there, I think. Yeah, I think a little ceiling light would be better. Or just one of these. Yeah, okay, just one works a lot better. So you can just kind of have some light in here to see. To see our deer. What about this? No, I don't think that's too good for this. I think you need that for like a tropical enclosure or something. Like, look at that. You'd need that for some kind of rainforest area. Now let's see about, I think... Oh, hello. Welcome to... Oh, I didn't know we could do, like, themed areas with these. That's awesome. I definitely think we should look into doing something like that. Maybe not necessarily over here, but, you know... What's... Okay, we need to find... I think there is one for deer. I think... I could be wrong, like this, all these little signs, there's lots of primate ones, antelopes, more antelopes, bears, pachyderms, deer! There we go. Now, it's whether or not we actually have one for a Seeker deer is another question. So Tundra, Boreal, Highland, okay, Old World deers, this is probably what we're looking at. Spotted deer. Axis deer? Axis deer aren't the same as Seeker deer, are they? I don't believe so. I think they're like... I don't know the difference, but they're like... They're from India rather than India's still in Asia. They're not from like Japan or anything. I don't know what the exact differences are. I think they're slightly bigger. I could be wrong. It's deer. Red deer. No, red deer. I don't think we have... Oh, no, I found it! Sika deer! Sika deer! So I'm gonna go ahead and place... there. So whether or not we'll get another one of that so we can put them in other places is another question. But at least we know it's there. And it comes with all sorts of other information about them. Actually, I think this would look nicer rather than being in here. I think we need these ones over in the viewing platforms over here. There you go, like on the wall. I think... oh no, I've actually done that really low down. I think I was right where it was before. There we go. See how that looks. Yeah, I think that looks nice, just like on the wall, so people can peek and have a little look at the one on the side. So now we get to play a game of can I get that particular version of the sign to appear again. At least one more time would be nice. Red deer. Sika deer, that went quite well. So let's go ahead and put another one in here. I'm still getting notifications about guests being starving. There's something wrong with this restaurant, I think, where people don't seem... let's pause the game for a second. People don't seem to be able... okay, they are now. It is making an income now. These are all making incomes now. So I think they seem to actually be working. They're actually functional now. Which is definitely better than how it was before, but it's going to get super crowded in here, which we need to keep an eye on. Not so much the gift shop. The gift shop doesn't seem to stay very... Right, I'm going to get rid of that because we don't actually have anything that people can buy from it. Okie dokie, so that's going well. So let's just have another quick look and see if there is anything else scenery-wise that we can put in to our deer enclosure. Do not stroke the animals. I don't think so. Do you remember I wanted to do a another one of those little education stations? We only have one at the moment. It's the one right outside the porcupine and banded mongoose. They're not meerkats anymore. We've got banded mongoose in there. Where it's basically like you have a little donation box and you have like a table, and then you have an education podium and an educator that are stationed there, and they just do like a little chat about various things. So here they're talking about tiger. You've got a tiger skull and a bone display, so I presume what they're probably talking about here is, I said that was like a lion rather than a tiger, and they're talking about like the African carnivores and things like that. So that's what that's actually there for. And I think that there is a decoration. I don't think I have it in my game at the moment, but it definitely exists. It's like, it's kind of like this display here with the tiger skin, which I'll probably do another one of those somewhere. I don't know where yet. Because I don't know if I'm going to have a tiger or anything yet. Because this is quite a small zoo. We don't have a whole lot of room to do lots of enclosures. And I really do want to focus on bigger enclosures for a while, because we have our 3 little small aviaries. We have a small enclosure there. And I want to kind of do the big enclosures and then fill in the gaps, is how I want to go about building it. So, yeah, I don't know what I'll do as the bigger enclosures, but I'm thinking African wild dogs for one of them, and then I don't know what else. Maybe a tiger, but either way, there is a decoration that's like, and it's like antelope horns. And I know these are deer and not antelopes, but I think it would be interesting to have a station that's talking about horns and antlers, basically. It's like a horn and antlers styled little talking place where you can learn about those kind of things. So I'll have to make sure I have that mod for next time. Alright, it's a ferret. That might be a good thing to have with our banded monkeys, actually, now I think about it. Now I have a little think about it. I don't know if any of these ferret posters maybe say anything about... So yeah, small carnivores. That could be interesting to have on this enclosure. Marbled polecat. That's very interesting. So you can see all about their anatomy, you can see all about their relatives. Oh, that'd be so interesting. Definitely want these. Definitely want these all over my enclosure. So let's go ahead and let's... Can I move this? Yes, I want to move this over. And then move this over as well. And then if I adjust that also... And that gives us a bit more space to play with without completely covering the glass with... That's black-footed ferret. Okay, so I want this one, which has all different kinds of ferrets on it. And watch small carnivores. I think there's one... Maybe, is there one more we could have? Or are they all kind of the same thing now? Yeah, I think... Oh! That's a nice picture of that silver ferret. Black-footed ferret, marbled polecat. Yeah, I think... Oh, no, maybe not. We'd more or less exhausted near enough all of our options here. I wonder if we could actually have a black-footed ferret. I don't know if that's something I can have. Did you know? Oh, this is about sea otters. We have otters over here. Let's have a look at what it actually says first, in case it doesn't talk about, like, normal otters. Yes, it does talk about other otters, river otters. That's interesting. So we can put that over here. Thinking of putting, like, a little thing. You know, I'll get what I want to say. A little, like, I will remember. A little pillar, there we go, a little pillar that it can sit on. So, I'll show you what I mean. So what I was thinking was, if I get up one of these and sit it behind it, then it looks like it actually is, like, propped up on something, like it's attached to something. Is this sort of the same size, or is it? Okay, that's a bit bigger. So I'm gonna... Alright, move this out of the way for a second, and then put this in the center. Here we go. And then use this to prop up the sign, rather than have that balanced on a rock. And then see if maybe I could get that one back again. Interesting, interesting indeed. Does this say anything about otters? Because maybe... Nah, that's very ferrety. It's very ferrety based. I'm glad we found that, because I would have had no idea what to put there otherwise. I was just thinking, oh, I don't have any information about the otters. I just have do not lean on the rail signs. Which are important signs to have, do not get me wrong. We definitely should have them here. And I want another one of these just to prop that up. And then I'll get another do not lean on the rail sign just to put there, just so people can't ignore that message. And there we go, so that looks really nice now. We actually have some information about the giant otters, because they don't have a dynamic sign that comes with them. So, so we didn't have a sign here or anything, but now we actually have all stuff about mustelids here, so this has a lot about sea otters on it. But I still do want to see if we can just get one more, just even one more sign about, or if maybe I should just put this in the middle. There we go. So we have a lot more information about the animals in the enclosure. And I've changed my mind already. I think it's actually better if I do have these there, because then people can still look over those signs at the animals. They're not like completely blocked by these signs. There we go. Let's pause again. We're already 4 stars of zoo fame. We don't even have that big a zoo yet. I have a feeling it is probably guest happiness that's bringing us down. No, it's actually not guest happiness. It's educational habitats, entertaining animals, things like number of species. Okay, we're actually not doing too bad then. I thought guest happiness was really bringing us down, but guests are actually relatively happy. I think it's because I fixed the restaurant. I think fixing the restaurant made a huge difference. Cool, so I'm glad we found those. I actually want to see, is there still anything else that we can put down in our deer enclosures that would kind of boost the I don't know, just give us a bit more information. I don't know if the Asian signs have anything on Sika deer. I don't think so. That's Australian. I'm just curious about whether or not they have anything on some of the birds that we have. I don't think so. No. No. Okay. We have Australian signs. I don't know if they have anything about birds. No. Sometimes it's just nice to check and see what's going on. Well, actually, I'm thinking now that I've figured out with those, like, what I can do with those posters and signs and things, it might be nice just to have, you know, some things just on Australia for people to look at. But I don't know where I'd put them. is the question. Where do I put them? Because these bins are kind of in the way. Maybe if I put the trash cans more in the corner. Well, no one uses these trash cans. These trash cans aren't like affiliated with anything. There's nowhere to get food or anything here, so I'm gonna actually just get rid of them. And then we'll maybe get one on Australia geography. That sounds like an interesting one to have here. And I think we need a shorter one for that, yes. Okay, so that's that sign. Now I think maybe one on Australian animals. I'm gonna read it and see what it says first. Let's see what it says about Australian animals and then we'll decide if we want that one or something else. Australia is home to many animal species. On the road signs you can see a wombat and a kangaroo. Both animals are marsupials, which means they carry their babies in their pouch. Okay, so it's talking more about specific animals. I was hoping maybe it would say something about how you know, most of their animals are indigenous and only on Australia and everything, but I think so maybe I want to go for the one that's about... I'll try Australia Facts. I actually wanted the Aboriginal people one. It's a different Australia Facts. More Australia Facts. Come on, where is it? Give it back to me. But the Australia... Oh, it was right there and I just got rid of it. Getting to... There we go. So we've got signs about Aborigines. So this is Australia Facts. This is also about Aborigines. This is more about the colonization of Australia. And this is more about attractions. So I don't think we want the attractions one. I think we're going to go for the Aborigines because I think that's a bit more... I think cultural awareness is important, especially of marginalized people like that have unfortunately suffered greatly from colonialism. It's important that we understand and respect things about those people. There we go. So let's read the sign. Let's see what it has to say. Aborigines make up 2% of Australia's population today. The Aborigines are the Indigenous Australians who originally settled on the continent and are said to have migrated there from the Australasian continent over 60,000 years ago. Today, Aborigines live in all main centres, but most of them still live in the desert areas of the Australian outback. On the image to the left, you can see a man playing a didgeridoo, a kind of wooden trumpet, which is really difficult to play. And there he goes. Ayers Rock, or Uluru, as the rock formation is called by the Aborigines. The outback is the vast, dry and remote inland parts of the Australian continent. I talk too fast. Some Aboriginal people still live in the sacred area around Ayers Rock, a huge rock formation in the centre of the continent. The Aborigines call the sacred mountain Uluru. They also settle in the Northern Territory in Kakadu National Park, which they call, I can't read this, Amhem Land? The land of their ancestors. Okay, so that's definitely an interesting sign to have there. And then I can get rid of this. Alright, let's make sure my game is nice and saved. Since we did all of that putting down signs today, a very, very important part of zoo construction is making sure we have all of our signs. And the other thing I wanted to do is see if we can find anything else, anything else we can put in our deer enclosures. Caprines? There's ibexes and goats. Okay, we already got this far when we found Sika deer. That's stuff about tigers. This is a primate center sign. Now I'm more excited to make primate enclosures, but I don't know what kind of primates to have. Coral reef. That's not what we're doing here. That's a reef rescue thing, which if you haven't watched it, you should have a little watch of our reef rescue series. Wallaby adventures. There's Australian animals. Wondering if there's anything in there about any of our birds once again. I don't think so. I think it's just the tree kangaroo and the Tassies. I think it is. That's fine. So manatee rescue, eh? It's just making me have more and more ideas for a completely different park. Zoo, Zoo World Aquarium, no. Dolphin Cove, no. Horrifying Mask, no. No. I don't think we're gonna find too much else. Mongoose? Banded mongoose? We have those! They're right here. Is it really worth putting another sign up though? We've already put so much down. Martins. Oh! Excuse me? Did I just see giant otter? Did you just do that to me? They have giant otters! No one told me this! Well, now I can't have the do not lean on the rails signs. Now I have to replace them with the giant otter sign. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, now I can't get it back. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. Unfortunately, that seems to just prop up. I guess I can't have a do not lean on the rails sign anymore. I didn't realize I could have a giant otter sign. I need that this whole time. Japanese badger, pine marten, European mink, pine marten, mink, pine marten, Japanese badger. There we go, giant otter. Yeah, fortunately that seems to sit quite well on the railing without any extra support. Lovely little look. Seems this area seemed to get the most love. We were meant to be working on the deer enclosure and I just went crazy putting signs everywhere but the deer enclosure. That's awesome. So we actually have stuff on the giant otter now. So the giant otter is a South American carnivorous mammal. It is the longest member of the Mustelidae or weasel family, a globally successful group of predators. The giant otter is diurnal, being active exclusively during daylight hours. It is the noisiest otter species, and distinct vocalizations have been documented, probably because they're more social than other otter species. The giant otter ranges across North, Central, South America. It lives mostly in and along the Amazon River and in the Pantanal. That's awesome! So I'm so glad we've got signs then. We've got our Amazon sign, which talks all about where they live, and we have the otter signs that talks all about how they're a member of the Mustelidae family and all their relatives, how they're related to wolverines and badgers and other kinds of otters and ferrets, and all the characteristics that make them mustelids. And then we can come back over here and we have so many more signs, all about small carnivores, so all about ferrets, all about the different kinds of mongoose and ferrets, all the different species, and then all about their anatomy, which is awesome! This is so awesome. I love having all signs like this. It's so interesting and there's so much more that people can learn. I just love having educational signs everywhere. Whew, but I think that about wraps it up for today. I'm sorry I didn't get so much more building done today, so much as just who's throwing trash all over the ground? Who's doing that? Who's throwing this around? Who's throwing stuff all over the floor? We'll have to put some bins around here because people obviously can't control themselves. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching as always. I hope you had a good time and I will see you all for more in Sparrow Forest Zoo next time. Bye bye!